All right, so our note names, starting with A, we have A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. Okay, so, and then it repeats. That's not the order for every string, but that does work for the A string. So A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. On our E string, it starts on E, so we go E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, E, C sharp, D sharp, E. Okay, so it has it's the same sequence of notes, just starting on a different note for each string. So those are your notes, and now we want to be able to recall them as quickly as we possibly can. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that E string to find the other notes. So once you kind of have that memorized, now what we're going to do is try to memorize all the natural notes. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E on our E string, right? Just our E string. Once you have that down, you're going to be using shapes. So we're going to stick to just the A for this lesson. So, excuse me, on the A note of the E string, which is the 5th fret, that's our starting point for every single note we're going to play right now. Well, they're all A's, so it's the same note. But what we're going to do is we're going to use what we call our octave to recall all the A's that are nearby. So an octave is the same note above or below, right? So it can be a higher A or a lower A. It can work backwards. Everything beyond this point is going to be higher because this is our lowest A that we can play. So the first shape is going to be this on the D string. So if your finger is on the E string, the octave on the D string is going to be 2 frets to your right and then 2 strings below to the D string. That's going to give you an A note. This works really well for all the other notes as well. So for example, F, G, A, B, right? But again, we're just using A for now. So that gives us an A. So we found the D string. Okay, now let's learn where the G string is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to our pinky. This is going to be quite a big stretch here. So 5th fret of the E stays the same. That's the starting point. G, 2nd fret. So it's quite a big leap. I don't know if you can see that, but it's these two. So this one and this one. G, 2nd fret. And again, this works for all the other notes. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So that's A to A. Those are both A. So now we know this one, and now we know this one. Okay? Now on the B string, it's quite a big stretch. So what I want you to do is use your D string to reach it. So we're going to go, we're going to make that first shape that we learned. Then we're going to transfer this finger to that note. And that's going to be our new starting point, and we're going to grab the B string, which is on the 10th fret. So now the way we get to that B string octave of the D, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 frets over 1, 2 strings below, right? Because before it should be 2 frets over, but that's not an octave. There's the A. Okay, so now we have A, switch, A, you go backwards. So now we figured out where the B string octave is. And then finally, right, we can grab the high E, okay? So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna bring back our friend, the G string, and we're gonna do this little triangle shape. We're gonna go from here to the G string, which is the 2nd fret, and then we're gonna grab the high E. So, and what's kind of funny, if you notice, the distance between the G string A note and the E string, the high E string A note, is essentially the same thing as the one right here for the D to the B. It's the same thing, right? So, right? So now you have this triangle shape, right? So A, and then you have this kind of weird linear one. A, right? So what I want you to do with this is to use that for every single note, right? So you won't be able to do it exactly the same for like F, because F, you can't go behind it. So you're gonna have to start that one on A, make your way up. But you can start F with the B string octaves. So you can go to G. All right, A, B, C, D. Right, now do the A one. Oh, sorry, the G string one. Again, you can't really do this one for F because there's no more fret, right? So you would have to do it for on the A. So A, B, C, D, E. And then just do that as your starting exercise. We're just trying to identify all those notes, because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to be able to recall them like that. If not, pretty close, right? So like, again, instead of doing this, right? If I asked you what is this note, instead of going D, D sharp, E, F, right? You're gonna just go, oh, well, I know this is A, so that's the octave of A, so there it is, it's A, right? And you want, and by the way, because I know I have some students that do that, but they actually physically do this. I don't want you to do that. I want you to do that in your head. I don't want you to go, if you're here, I want you to visualize boom, boom, okay? So try your best not to do that, okay? So that's it for this lesson.